Okay. Apologies for the delay. I was having some issues with my capture card, but we should be good to go now. So let's not waste any more time. Welcome, one and all, to the Ultimate Living Origin Form Pokédex. Today I am trying to catch the remaining shinies in the power plant here in Kanto. And we're going to top it all off with the remaining Pikachus that we need to catch. And at the very end, I should be able to get shiny Zapdos with a pretty decent stat spread as well. I made sure for the legendaries to go after something a little bit more special, not just the first shiny that I see. So, with all that being said, let us get on with it. For those of you that were around last time, I got cut short for some unforeseen tech issues. Also, it does look like my stream is still lagging with the bits. I don't know why that is. You cooking up anything fun? I hope so. Yeah, so my bitrate is still in the toilet, so I don't know what the hell's going on, but I'm just gonna go with it. You know, we got to get a move on, and it's been a light week so far, so I'm just gonna deal with it. I don't know, I have no idea why this is happening, but it's manageable, I think, as long as everyone can hear and see what's going on. I think it'll be good enough. Hopefully. Hello Fresh, yeah. Especially if you don't have like a lot of experience cooking and such, then it's not a bad option. But anyway, so I'm going to take a second, drop off this shiny Pikachu that I caught off stream thanks to the drop out there, so that we have plenty of room in the party for the next few targets. Once again, if there are issues with the stream, please let me know in chat, because I have no idea what's going on. But well, Nick, I'll do my best to make sure that happens as fast as possible. That's a nice selection. Which one are you going with? Or are you having all of those different options at the same time? All right, let's get on with this show, people. So the next Pikachu that I need to catch is this one right here, this female Pikachu. That's the seed. The settings are stereo help. My information. In Pokefinder, we plug in the seed. Location is power plant. It's a Pikachu and shiny only. 1775, that's the one. Is this the one I already caught? I might have already caught this one. Brave female. I actually think I caught this one last time. Alright, real quick, I'm just gonna double check. This is what happens when the stream gets interrupted. My flow. It's all over the place. I have no idea what's going on. So I'm gonna double check real quick. I'm pretty sure this most recent one I caught was the brave female. No, that's a quiet male. Really? Okay, I haven't caught it yet. I could have sworn. Maybe I put in the stats earlier and, it was just, who knows? Who knows what it is? It's not important. What's important is we get going with this. So let's plug in the info here. $22, $24, $22, $24. $511.0. And I need to maybe refresh. Type it all in again. $511.0, right? Okay, what is going on in my brain? It's 24, 22, 20. Rookie mistake. Okay. Stereo help. This one is the right one that we need. Yeah, I have it all set up. I think I plugged it in before I realized the stream was cut out last time, so it's all in there. What are you doing? Stop that. Don't do that. Why is that? Okay. Now we're good. Goodness gracious, we are good. Okay. So let's get back to this. Shargo, it's been an interesting situation all around, I'd say. I've had many technical difficulties. And some other things, but I am hopefully back and ready to go here. I just need to check if I'm on the right settings, and I am. So we can go ahead and begin with attempts. I was doing really well yesterday. For the short time that I was on, I caught 2 shinies in the span of 25 minutes. So that's a pretty good pace. I'd like to maintain that if possible. Good luck with your cooking, Utah. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely close to my record. So I don't know if I can maintain that, but it would be nice because I still have a lot of targets I need to get before I'm done with the power plant. That is a Pikachu. So anyway, how have you been, Shargo? Why is it in orange? Good question. Because I was on seed 1 frame late. That's why. So I was 1 frame late. Could have been a first try shiny right there. Also, the shiny Pikachu in Fire Red and Leaf Green is very subtle. You may not even realize it's orange. Blast. It'll be fine. What kind of festival have you been attending? You butchered a block of ice, huh? Be interesting to see what that entails. A rock festival, very cool. I enjoy rocks. Rocks are cool. I especially enjoy rocks that are big enough to climb on. I like bouldering and such. Not so much doing the straight up like rock climbing where you have to harness yourself, but so you were fully locked in. Oh, so you just went for the wrong spread. Yeah, I don't know if you would get very far with a adamant Regice. Not sure what use that would be. Except for a very gimmicky or cheesy set. Oh yeah, so an adamant spread with no attack. Very useful. Okay, I'll check out what you are. I was only 1 frame off on seed the first try, so I should be close, but I'll see what this is. Why not? Ah, I see. Not the granite type of rock, but the music type. Makes more sense. This appears to be method 4. I'm hitting a lot of method 4s in here, yeah. 1 seed early, 1 seed early, 1 frame late. A lot of method 4s in the power plant. Kick 1 into a sphere. Now that needs some elaboration. Definitely wasn't early, or definitely wasn't late on that frame press. It might have been early, though. So close yet so far. Apologies in advance for the sniffliness of my nostrils. It's pretty bad today. Hello? See, when I tell you, that's barely distinguishable. You can't even tell that's shiny. Kicking a rock for that long sounds like a pretty intensive process. Well, good luck with that. You'll get there eventually, I'm sure. All right. So we've broken the ice. We have one shiny here, and that's not what I want to do. We got female Pikachu. Maybe this is the one I need to check. I don't know. I got all turned around when the stream got cut off yesterday, but point is, that Pikachu is done. Let's see what else we can get here. Still saving that Electrode for later. We'll probably do the Electrode, and then we'll do the Zapdos. Which leaves... okay. These two left. Okay, so I have one more Pikachu that's going to be for Alolan Raichu, and then apparently this is the... Beat Raichu female. So I did Raichu male. Okay, and then if I glance at the checklist real quick, it says I need the female. So this is actually, this is where we're at right now. I need the male Raichu, right? No, I had it right. I need the female Raichu. And the Pikachu for Alolan Raichu. Okay. I think I'm where I should be. So, let's go ahead and get... This will be the Alolan Raichu eventually, at some point in the distant future. And the settings are stereo help. Those are the same. I don't think I saved. Let's go ahead and do that. And copy the seed to Pokefinder. And there you are. Sirius. $24,111. $10,217. Okay. Stereo help. This is the one. This is our frame target. Yep. That's for the seed. Now let's see if we can get it back-to-back here, because I have a pretty good chance, I think. Odds are fairly decent that I can get this right away. If I do, then we're on pace with my start on Saturday. And we may even be on pace, if that continues, to getting Zapdos today. Although, catching it will be a different story. How many walks do you think it'll take to spherize a rock? Nope, you're not who I want. Okay, I was on seat again, and I was 1 frame late. It happened again. The first attempt was on seed 1 frame late. That is, I don't know what to say about that. A good sign in general, but a little annoying. Well, that could be a year-long process then. Takes a lot of patience. Alright, that definitely wasn't late. So if I was on seed, this could be a shiny Pikachu. No. It's not what it is. Hard to get everything to line up. That's what I'd like to think, is that these are all signs that I'm going to start getting multiple shinies in a row. I've come really close several times recently. But I think the last time was with the 2 Vulpix a little while ago now. Hello. Not too bad. I'm on a pretty good pace, I'd say. This seems to be working out. Venusaur, gotta love you and your sleep powders. Just be careful with those wasp nests. I've definitely had my fair share of run-ins with wasps. Not a big fan. Here, let me go ahead and add the stuff here. So that would be this one for the Alolan Raichu later. And then the last Pikachu I need to catch is the female Raichu. But before I do that, let's go ahead and drop these 2 guys off. My worst encounter with a wasp is probably when I was in college. I lived in a dorm where there was a shared bathroom in the hallway, and I had to wear these like slip-on slides basically when I left my room to go to the bathroom. And there was one night where I think it was like really early in the morning. I woke up extra early to finish an assignment or something. And when I got up and put on my slides, I started walking down the hallway like normal, and then I felt this, like, first this dull pain on my foot, and it just kept getting worse and worse as I walked down the hallway until eventually, like, it got so bad that I, like, flung my shoe off a little bit. And it was because there was a wasp sitting in my shoe, sitting in the slide, and it had stung my foot. And it was like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. in the morning, so I couldn't yell or make any loud noises or anything, so it was, yeah. And that's definitely not the only story where I've had a run-in with a wasp, but yeah, they're nasty, nasty buggers. 100%. Okay, so that was Pikachu for Alolan Raichu, and then we have one more Pikachu. Then we have a Magneton. Then we have Electrode. Then we have Zapdos. So 4 more Pokemon. I think we can do it. I think we can do all these today. Zapdos is going to be a little harder because of the spread that I chose, but I think we can do it. So let's run on with it. This is going to be stereo help, same settings as before. Gonna plug into Pokefinder. A little bit longer of a wait, but not too bad, honestly. And let's go ahead and plug that in. And it looks like this one, there are 2 identical spreads together, except they're 16 frames apart, so that's probably not going to help me very much. 25, 3, 24. Four, 7, 28. That's the later one. I want this one slightly earlier. Stereo help. This is the one right here. 2050. Slightly longer than the one we just did. Yep. Stereo help. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Make sure that you spray them, steer clear, wait for them to evacuate or die, and then take care of the debris. The small outside space is very important. You gotta protect it as best you can. Yeah, bees are much more agreeable. Task failed successfully. You'll get to it. You'll get to all these things. Eventually, you just get hungry enough that you have to make food, right? All right. Not going to be late on the frame this time. Definitely not. Okay. I was definitely not on seed 1 frame late. Not possible. This is a method 4, is it not? It is method 4 1 seed late. And perhaps 2 frames early. So I wasn't late on the frames, which is good. Sad as I am to see winter and spring fall away, because I typically like it a little cooler. I will say, I do feel like my mood has improved a lot with more sunshine, more daylight. These are all good things. Would this be an inside plant or for your minimal outdoor space? Indoor plants are pretty nice. Liven the place up a bit. Nope, that is a regular Pikachu. It's really hard to tell. Oh yeah, small palm tree. Depending on where you live, that might work. You're not what I want. Let's see what's going on here. What is going on here? Two seeds late. That is bananas. And also 1 frame early. It seems like I'm skewing later on the seed now and also earlier on the frame. So I probably don't want to rush that too much. I think those usually look pretty nice. Those, like tiny herb gardens that you can put on the wall. Or just various succulents or different plants. You're saying there's certain species of palm tree that can live in freezing temps? That surprises me. Nope. I was like, wait, no. 2 seeds early. And 3 frames late. Jeez. What is going on? Trachycarpus. Or tune-eye. Very interesting. Yeah, let's do a couple more before we check. My seed is all of a sudden not very consistent. So that concerns me. Okay, gotcha. So maybe a more tropical region of China? Or more, humid, warm section there? Okay. I wonder if I just hit you. One seed late on frame. Gotta get my seed game back up. All right, let's try again. Of course, on the very last Pikachu we need to catch, it is evading us. Okay, are you the same thing I just... Alright. Yeah, anything that can survive European winters has to be pretty hardy. Don't be modest, Magnemite. One seed early, yeah. I'm 1 frame late. All of a sudden, I can't hit my seed anymore. Don't know what's up, I've lost it. Lost the touch. Alright, that felt pretty good. Let's take her home. Shiny Pikachu. Barely a little bit tanner. Number 5. This is the 5th shiny Pikachu. It's too many Pikachu. Let's go ahead and get it over with. And so we did. So we did. All right. We are done with you. Pikachu's fighting hard. I don't think we have anything to worry about. Yes, the RNG-itis slips him when you have this many RNGs to do. Alrighty. Pikachu is done. Pikachu and everything in the Pikachu line, with the exception of the Hat Pikachus, which will be much later down the line, but that is done. So those are all checked off. Again, we got all the Hat Pikachus in Alola and Sword and Shield, and then the shiny one that's technically not supposed to exist, but it does. So we'll do that eventually. But for now, the last wild target we need to shoot for is Magneton. That guy right there. So let's reference the sheet. Magneton. Then we'll do Electrode and Zapdos. And I don't know if I have any way of avoiding Electrode's explosion, so that could be interesting. But hopefully that's not a problem. This is mono L equals A for the settings, just for future reference. Plug that in. Calm. Oh, not Pikachu. Magneton. There we go. Excuse me. All right. Still calm. Let's go ahead and plug it in. And get this third to last target of the power plant. So it's mono L equals A, so it's this first one up here. All right, let's get this Magneton. Now that we are done with our series of grilled cheese, or as most people refer to them, Shiny Pikachu. This shiny sprite is something that I'm excited to see because I don't remember exactly how Magneton looks shiny in Gen 3. Magnemite was pretty nice. Pretty sure Magneton looks pretty sick. I feel like the timer was a little glitchy there, so as always, it's never my fault if I miss this, it's the timer's fault. We got a Magneton, surprisingly. Not the one we want. 1 seed late on frame, looks like. So I'm always off by 1 somewhere. At least for these initial tries. Always by 1. And I would imagine that that one is probably going to be 1 frame late on the seed. Here's hoping I'm wrong. Hey! Second try! And it looks great. Just like I thought it would. That looks pretty dang awesome. The question is, what should I do? Should I just put it to sleep and throw balls? I think that's what I'll do initially, at least. But that is sick. And it could do some real damage to me over time. So let's hope I get lucky. Oh, he's trying to do the parafusion on me? You dirty dog, you. I know the catch rate isn't that high at full health asleep, but it's got to be, like, a little decent. You know, like a little... Alright, let's, try this Oh, he got me with the parafusion. No, I'm not hitting anything. Prepare to watch me hit no moves forever. Ever. As evident by this valiant display by Venusaur. Oh, I stand corrected. You actually got to move off. Good for you. I mean, would it really be that risky to try to damage this thing? Razor Leaf is resisted and everything, but it has such a high crit rate. I don't know if a crit Razor Leaf would be too much. Actually, you know what? What am I thinking? I'm pretty sure if I just use Secret Power, there's very little risk of something happening. Of course, this Magneton could just take me out. Yeah, also, Venusaur's not doing anything. Not doing anything at all. Yeah, I have nothing to worry about. And it's paralyzed too, so great. That's more convenient than trying to keep it asleep. And I'm pretty sure a crit would not kill. Yeah, that would not kill. Very, very nice. So we have 230 Mons, shiny and otherwise, and one of those is a shiny Magneton. Now, I'm going to go back to Poké Center real quick. We're going to drop off the 2 guys we just caught. And I think... what am I saying? I'm definitely going to probably prepare before I catch Zapdos, or before I try to catch Zapdos. So, let's not pretend anything. Otherwise, let's just go ahead and get ready for Electrode. I don't have a really good solution for Explosion or Self-Destruct, whichever one it has. I don't have any damp Pokemon. Does the ability Soundproof make you immune to Explosion? I don't know if it does. I think that's only helpful in a roar situation. Also, I don't really need Squirtle with me right now because I'm flying back. We'll just put you back there for now. And yeah. What's a good... I don't really have anything for the Trouble Mons. We'll keep Magneton in the party then for emotional support. And perhaps we'll leave it at that. Yeah. So really, the only thing I can do is use sleep powder and pray. Oh, actually, what am I saying? I do need Squirtle because I need to surf back. What a rookie mistake. All right. So I'm going to just hit Sleep Powder and pray. And because that's not the most reliable strategy in the world, it may take 2 or 3 successful RNGs before I actually catch Shiny Electrode. What's going on, Amino? Nice to see you. In terms of the ability Sturdy doesn't do anything in Gen 3 except prevent the one-hit KO moves, like the Fissures, Guillotine, all that. That's all that Fissure does. Or that's all that Sturdy does. It doesn't actually impact moves that do more than the health. I'm not speaking correctly right now, but I think you understand. I think you get what I'm saying. So, with Electrode, it is a static encounter, so I'm going to have to modify my settings for the frame a little bit. But I have everything saved that's worked in the past, so I should be pretty close starting out. I think that Pokeball right there might be an Electrode. There's more than one. Alright, let's save before I click this, just in case. Nope, just a TM. Seems like the encounters are very prevalent here. Get an encounter like every 5 steps. Pretty intense. A ghost type would be immune to damage from explosion, but it would not prevent the Pokemon from fainting. Let me just see if this Venusaur outspeeds. Okay, so this one does. And if I were to, let's say, just throw a Pokeball at this, what might happen? Or how about this? What if I tried to weaken you with secret power? You take that, but you die to a crit. So that's pretty risky. That is very risky. Don't know if I can... I don't know if I can do that. I'll have to think about it. We'll see. But let's go ahead and get the information we need. First of all, you are obtained. Let's go back up to Electrode. This is stereo, L equals A. This seed. You are a static encounter, so I need to open this page. And with that seed and this shiny, what's the frame? 757 to 815. Okay, so this is the one right here. It says Bulbasaur here. Let me just... there we go. It's an adamant electrode. So it has a very powerful explosion. Let's hope that doesn't incentivize it to use it too much. So, let's go in not Eon Timer, let's go into the 10 lines to get our information for Eon Timer. $11,727. $21.30.19. Okay, and once again, this is stereo L equals A, right? Yep. Stereo L equals A. So this is the one we are aiming for. And it's a very quick shiny spread, which is good. We don't want to wait too long. And the only thing left to do now is go into this first, but then we need to adjust Eon Timer with the correct calibration, because right now we are calibrated for wild encounters, which involves waiting for sweet scent, and static encounters don't have that. So let's pull up my note document where I have this saved. And method 1 calibration indoors to be this. Okay. Now we are all set. And I do need to go back to the game real quick, change the settings before we begin. Okay. All right. Let's see where we're at. I think we're doing pretty good in terms of pacing. Only one RNG away from trying for Zapdos, and then Zapdos will probably take the rest of the day between getting it successfully and then actually capturing it in a Pokeball. It'll be tough. I probably waited too long to unpause there. Let's just give it another go. There is just a lot of things that can go wrong with the capture. Yeah, it is probably worth it to go ahead and attack the Electrode. But that assumes that I hit Sleep Powder, which is only a 75% chance of hitting. So, we'll see how it goes. We'll get it first try. That's what I'm going to say. We're going to get it first try. And we're not going to have any issues with explosion or anything like that. Absolutely not. I'm also pretty sure that after this capture, there's going to be no more Pokemon encounters that have this issue in terms of, you know, evading. Okay. So that was a solid attempt. Let's see how far off we are. I would imagine we're probably not on seed because for whatever reason I've forgotten how to hit the seed. That's fine. I was indeed one seed late and one seed early, one frame late. So we're cooking. We're in a good place. Just gotta hit that seed. Now that was probably early on the button press. Oh, never mind. Okay. All right. All right. 75% chance I just hit the Sleep Powder. Very cool. All right. Another chance that I will crit this. Great, and it's still asleep. All right, perfect. So this has gone perfectly so far. Now we just need you to stay in the ball. Can you stay in the ball, please? Nope. Still asleep, though, so I get a couple tries. This is going absolutely swimmingly. But stay in the ball. No, okay. Still asleep. This feels like a safari zone experience. Okay, now you're just playing around. No explosion, though. Can I put you back to sleep? It'd be helpful if you didn't miss Venusaur. That'd be really great. Okay. I've had a lot of opportunities so far in this one encounter, which is really great. Come on, it's just an electrode. I'm playing with fire now. Oh, not the paralysis. No. Should I throw a ball or should I try to sleep again? I'll go for sleep. Perfect, it's locked in a rollout. Alright, Venusaur. Oh wait, no, it doesn't get locked in a rollout when it uses that. Come on. No, no. Damn it. Curses. That went perfect. For so long, it just wouldn't stay in the ball. That sucks. That's unfortunate. Okay. I'll just do it again. It's fine. Those first few turns, though, were absolutely ideal. Can't imagine it going any better than that next time. What a shame. I had plenty of chances. Plenty of chances that time. Is what it is. Damn it. Now I'm even more anxious to find it again, having got a taste of the blue boy. Okay. What are you? What's going on with this guy? Naughty, naughty. Can you highlight that, please? Thank you. All right. One seed late, 1 frame early. Okay. Okay. Attempt number 2. Sleep powder. Okay. That is good. Secret power. No crit. Good. And still asleep. All very good things. Pokeball. Stay in there. Stay in the ball. Stay in there. Okay. Still asleep, though. Right. Stay in the ball. Do it. Do it. Oh my god. Stay in the... Okay. We're fine. Okay. Don't miss. Good. Stay in the ball. Do it. Come on. Come on. What is this? What do we think this is? I mean, you're... This is ridiculous. This is so ridiculous. But Venusaur is hitting these sleep powders. She is doing good work right now. But come on. Stay in the ball. Stay in the ball. Stay in the ball. Stay in the ball. Thank you. Oh, jeez. That took way more attempts than it should have. Okay. Thank goodness. That was stressful. Could I have circumvented all of that by trading over a damp Pokemon? I could have. I really could have, but I didn't. And now it's over. So, who cares? Alright, I need to get out of here. So, the moment you all have been waiting for, it is finally time to go for Shiny Zapdos. Now, the thing with this one is, it's obviously going to be very hard catch, because I'm catching it in a Pokeball, and I'm actually not sure if my ideal team is able to deal with it. And what I mean by that is, I've traded over my Magneton that's higher level, that has some moves that will be helpful, but I don't know if it'll obey me. I actually think it won't, based on what Venusaur was doing earlier. I thought I had enough badges, but maybe I don't. So what I could do is I could go ahead and get another badge, which I guess the next available badge would be in Cinnabar, so that would actually entail a lot. So I'm going to try it out. I'm going to see what I can do with what I have. But yeah, this Magneton, if I can't use it, then we're in a bit of trouble. We're in a lot of bit of trouble, actually. So before I go ahead and just run on down there, let's go ahead and heal. I'm going to catch, or I'm not going to catch, I'm going to buy some more Pokeballs, just to make sure I have plenty in the event that I hit the shiny and the catch goes super, super long. And in all likelihood, it will probably take more than one attempt. So I'll probably have to successfully RNG this more than once before I actually catch it in a Pokeball. Just the most likely outcome. It would be nice if that wasn't the case, but... Alright, so I have 200 Pokeballs. That should be, you know, enough to go through one attempt, I think. And now I will... Now I will go back and see what's up. See what's going on. I'll definitely be doing some test captures just to see how feasible it is to actually get this bird where I need it to be. And I think I have a repel, if I'm not mistaken. Do I have repels? I don't have any repels? Really? Alright, hold on. Cleanse tag should help. Yeah, I have no repels, okay. Well, let's just walk on through here. Walking will also reduce my encounter rate. I think that, honestly, is going to be faster walking than running, just because it's less encounters in the long run. Oh wait, that's the wrong way, isn't it? Screw it, I'm just gonna run. I can't help myself. Oh no, this is the wrong way. Shoot, dang it. This is the encounter rate with my first-party Pokemon holding a cleanse tag, which, if you don't know, Pokemon that hold the cleanse tag reduce the encounter rate. So this is reduced encounters, and I'm getting plenty. Nope, not down there. Okay, now that was a pretty long stretch of no encounters. Okay. We have reached the bird. So, if I'm not mistaken, let me just go ahead and save first. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that Zapdos isn't generated until after I click this. Yeah. So I click this, and then it's not generated until I do that. All right. Let's test a couple things. First thing I'm going to test is how much does Secret Power do? Barely anything. Okay, that's good. I can use that for later. Second, will Magneton obey me? I don't think it will. All right. Yeah, Magneton will not obey me, so that takes away a pretty valuable strategy. Sabrina. Sabrina might be what it takes. Okay, so I'm not in the worst position, though, because let's say that if Secret Power is only doing that much, and I have a, like, what, 30% chance of doing a status, then, that is assuming, though, that Venusaur survives. Yeah, this is going to be tricky. Venusaur, don't do me like that. Want to try something? Okay. Okay, good. Okay. So it does seem like there's a pretty solid chance that me using Secret Power a bunch of times will eventually paralyze Zapdos. So if I do that, and preferably get it below half, which that is not quite what I need, but I can put in the second Venusaur and use Razor Leaf. Is that going to be too much? Oh wait, no, this Venusaur also doesn't obey me. All right, well, just for test purposes, ooh, don't want to do Leech Seed. That would be really bad if that happened in the actual situation. Okay. So already we are starting to get a sense of what's going on here. So first of all, let's take this item off of you. Let's give you leftovers. Okay, so I'm going to try this a couple times, just to get a sense of it. And as long as I have revives, this strategy should work. The odds of me paralyzing Zapdos within a few hits, and also getting it below half health, maybe not the greatest, especially since it outspeeds me. Okay, that's not ideal for it to open with Drill Peck. Also, does Drill Peck have a high crit rate? I don't know. I think it might. Okay, that's worst case scenario. How do I deal with that? I need to outspeed this Zapdos, I think, is the most important thing. Okay, what do I have in my bag? I have 1 max revive. That's not quite going to do it. I hate to say it, but I think I might actually have to, I might have to beat Sabrina before I can do this. Yeah, it's tough. The only other thing I can think of is using the shiny Magneton I just caught. Even though that's not, like, I don't know if it'll survive. I mean, it's double resisted to Drill Peck, even with a crit. You know, that actually is maybe worth checking out. Because I want to find a way to make this work. I would very much like to just go ahead and try to catch Zapdos now. Alright, it's 34, so that's not terrible, actually. And Calm is, what, a special defense boosting nature? That doesn't help here. But it has Thunder Wave, so it can put it to sleep, or it can paralyze it. And it has Spark, which is a neutral attack that could get it down below if Venusaur faints. So, here's what I'm thinking now. I'm thinking this Magneton is going to be our main player. And we'll just put you up here. And we'll open with Venusaur anyway, just to try to be as efficient as possible. The most ideal thing would be Venusaur paralyzes with Secret Power first turn and gets it below half health before it faints. And then Magneton comes in and just sits there while we chuck balls. That would be the ideal situation. Pretend passing. I've been having issues. Your question about the stream. I've had issues with my bitrate in the past couple streams for some reason. There's also been a really big delay in the stream. And I'm not really sure why this is happening. My internet connection is fine. So I don't know what is going on. You're building a CRT wall. That is very awesome. I have aspirations of building something like that one day. Alright, let's get back through the power plant, and then maybe, just maybe, we have a team that works here. At this rate, I'll probably find another random shiny just on my way to Zapdos. Nope, not down there. Ah yes, Fearow, everyone's favorite Pokemon, as we established. Might as well sneak up on this Zapdos, huh? Okay, let's see how this goes. If this Magneton can generally survive Zapdos' attacks. It probably can, especially since it only has Drill Peck. Okay, so that's an example of why I can't rely on Venusaur, because it just goes out like that. So let's see how you do, Magneton. We'll start by Thunder Waving. Once Zapdos is done protecting. And Zapdos itself can use Thunder Wave, which is so very fun. And then it protects, and then it Thunder Wave, da-da-da-da-da. This is all very, very exciting gameplay. Okay, finally got a Para in there, and then let's see which one does more, Sonic Boom or Spark. And we were both paralyzed. That's great. All right, so that's solid damage for 16 levels lower, and they're about the same, actually. So it probably doesn't matter which attack I use, but it does seem like I can get Zapdos down relatively safely, even if it is a little bit drawn out, thanks to the paras. Okay, so now let's just like chuck some balls for a minute and see how much Drill Peck does to Magneton, and if Leftovers heals off most, if not all, of that damage. But I think we got a pretty solid setup here now. I thought I was going to catch it. I was like, holy crap. I need to save that for when I need it. Okay, Drill Peck. With a crit, that actually does a decent amount. With Leftovers, I'd say it can probably handle it over time. Here, but it's not going to crit most times. It's only going to crit like half the time, right? Is that typically how it goes? Between the paras and its 3 other moves. Yeah, okay. I have been convinced. I'm convinced that we can do Zapdos now. Thanks to our lovely shiny Magneton. It is feasible. So, as we do, let us go to the sheet here. First of all, I will check off Electrode. All right, we're going to go all the way down. These are my legendary spreads, and I actually tried to go for something good. So this Zapdos doesn't just have random stats, it's actually like fairly decent. So I'm going to copy that seed. The settings are Mono, L, and R, just so that I can remember. So Mono, L, and R. Plug that in. Stationary, Legend, Zapdos. And how many frames away is this? This is 3,500 frames away, so it is a wait. It's this one right here. It's a timid Zapdos. No perfect stats, but they're all pretty high for the most part. And it's a timid nature, which is pretty good for it in most cases. And it has a 30 in special attack. Attack is also pretty high, which is not great for us in terms of the capture process, but it's fine. So, yeah, that's the best spread that I could find, and it also has Hidden Power Flying 67, which is almost full power Hidden Power Flying, which is also something for Gen 3 anyway, or lower generations before the physical special split after Gen 4. Okay, enough rambling. That is our target. Let's go into Eon Timer, and by Eon Timer, I mean the 10 lines, and let's see what comes up here. But it will be it'll be a wait. It's not going to be the fastest thing ever. It is hidden power flying, just so that's specified in here. 27, 27, 21. $24, oh no, 30, 22, 26. All right, this Zapdos is pretty dang good. It is a solid Zapdos. Not perfect by any means, but I didn't have a perfect shiny Zapdos with my trainer ID and secret ID, so that'll have to do. So this is oh, hold on. Just lost that. This is Mono LNR. So we're looking for Mono LNR, and this is the one. And it's 3,500 frames away, which is just over a minute for wait. So not terrible. And then the seed is not too bad. Okay. Now we just need to change this to... Oh. And we will do one attempt, and then I will run to the restroom real quick. After we figure out where we're sitting. But in total, each attempt is going to take about 1 minute and 40 seconds. So a little bit on the longer side compared to what we've been doing previously, but in the grand scheme of things, it's really not that bad of a wait. For what we're getting for the stats on the Zapdos, it's a pretty good deal. Well, thank you. Yeah, I think glitches, for the most part, make it just a little bit too easy in some aspects. Definitely considering item duping later on, but that's going to come later when we get to Hoenn. And yeah, like the male glitch and Ace and all that in Fire Red and Leaf Green would be, in terms of quality of life, would make a huge difference. But I don't know, it just seems like it goes a step too far for me. So... Okay. So I do have one thing I need to rule out, which is that, is the Zapdos generated on the first button press? Because if it is, then this one's going to be super, super early. And it is Jolly, the basically opposite of what I'm looking for. And just to be safe, I will, well, yeah, let's do minimum advances like 0. Because I doubt there's going to be many spreads. Yeah, advance is 350. Okay, so I just clarified one thing, which is that it's generated on the first button press, not the second. Very good to know. All right, so then this will actually be my first attempt here. And then I'll run out real quick. Always good to know. Always good to rule that out. All right, so now I'm going to have to pause and wait for a moment, and then right before I'll click it, and then after the initial click, the encounter actually doesn't start, even though the spread is locked in. So kind of an interesting way to do this, but I don't know if the other birds work that way or not. Do the other birds work like when you click it, it pauses and it plays that music before the encounter starts and the encounter's locked in? I know I just said a lot of words there, but I guess that's something we'll find out when we go for the next one. Probably Moltres will be the next one we go for. Moltres and Articuno are very close together in terms of the progression. All right, so now it's generated. Doesn't matter when I start the battle, but let's go ahead and see where we're sitting. Okay. So I was 1 seed late, and my frame was... I was 1 seed late, 1 frame early. So I'm really close. I'm very close already, which is great. My calibrations are all perfect. So I will be right back. 1 second. Okay. Let's get the Zapdos. I have a feeling I wasn't on seed anyway, so let's just run that back. First attempt was 1 frame early, so I'm pretty dialed in. I don't think I need to calibrate or anything. Just a matter of being consistent. Two seeds early on frame. 2 seeds early. Okay. That is good for me to know. One seed off is expected. But 2 seeds is a little more concerning. Is this the one I hit earlier? Probably not. Don't recognize the stats. One seed late. 3 frames early, geez. Once again, it seems like the seed is giving me the most trouble. Every time I try to compensate a little bit, it just goes a little bit too far the other way. This is how these RNGs drag on really long. If there's a wait longer than 30 seconds or so. Just goes on and on and on. Unless, of course, I get it this very attempt. Which I'm still not really sure if I hit my seed or not, but... Okay. I was on seed 1 frame early. Damn. 1 frame off. You hate to see it. It'll all be worth it in the end, right? Timid shiny Zapdos with solid stats. That could be useful. Or something later, for sure. Chargo definitely does know a thing or two about long waits, I'm sure. You've had some in your time. I had to guess that was probably early frame if I was on seed. If I wasn't, then it doesn't matter. Tis but a shame. Always close. Never quite there. Unless I am. But I'm usually close more often than I get it. Alright, let's see what this is. Just so that I'm not shooting in the dark, although I should be close. I should be around where I want to be. Lonely Zapdos. One seed late, one frame late. That did feel like a frame late. All making sense. As I predicted, one seed early, one frame late. Utah, you're saying that you made all of those, or you've eaten all of those? Yeah, good question. This will eventually become a video of its own, and I'll be breaking it apart generation by generation. So the ULOF Pokédex series, it's going to be all in video form, video essay form, going over how it went, all the considerations, all the different aspects of it. And I'll be drawing from the live stream footage as the main material for me actually doing all the catching and all of that stuff. But yeah, it'll be in my typical video essay style when it's all said and done. The streaming is basically just to make sure that I have everything for the challenge out there and recorded so that I can draw from it all. I don't have to store all the footage on my computer. It can be all in the cloud on YouTube, and might be nice to check it out. At least that's what the thinking was when I started, is people might be interested in watching me do this. You waited 12 days for the channel, Jirachi. That is unfortunate that you missed it. I can't remember what the like sensitivity of that is. Like, was it frame perfect that you had to get it, or was it like a little bit wider of a window? If it was frame perfect, then I would almost guarantee that you would fail something like that, but that does suck though. I'm sorry. Truly. We've talked about it on stream before. I'm pretty sure the longest RNG that I've ever done, or the longest wait for an RG I've ever done, was about like 45 minutes. And it was for a Registeel in Ruby. Or Sapphire. I think it was actually Sapphire. A Registeel in Sapphire. 45 minutes per attempt. And it took me a lot of attempts, I think. I can't remember exactly how many, but it felt like a ton. Because, you know, 45 minutes each go. 45 minutes each go is, it adds up pretty quick. That one also is one that I hit successfully multiple times and failed to catch because I didn't want to use a Master Ball. So that's a whole thing. But yeah, it can get rough sometimes, depending on what you're going for. I feel like I'm pretty early on the button presses here. It's not helping me. It's not helping me that I'm not consistent with the seed, and it's not helping me that I'm not pressing the button. Also, I am aware of the chat delay. That was the same issue I was having yesterday. I don't really know how to fix it at present. But we will carry on. Hopefully after today, I can figure out what's going on. But on my display, it's telling me my bitrate is, you know, leveling out at like 5,000. You know, it's like, or kilobits per second. It's bad. So yeah, I don't know what's going on, but it's causing a delay in the stream itself, and hopefully the video is not affected too much, the quality of the video. Nobody seems to be saying anything about it, so that's the hope. It's hard to say if I'm struggling with the Zapdos in particular, or if the attempts just take so much extra time that it feels like it's been more drawn out. Probably a combination of both. Also, that is timid. Not that it matters. One seed late, on frame. Can't hit that seed, man. I don't know what's going on. Cannot hit this seed for the life of me. You go for it. You crank out those bowls. I would definitely choose lime juice hands over meat juice hands. One of those is preferable to the other. All right, can I get a break? Can I catch a break, please? I think, if I had to guess, this is also probably a seed late. If I was on seed, that would be pretty devastating. But I don't think I was on seed. I think I was one late. And that is my final answer, locking it in. I was one seed early on frame. Well, either way, I'm not on seed. Just to paint a picture for you, I've been one seed early, on frame. One seed late, on frame. On seed, one frame early. And yet, here we still are. Well, that sounds cool, Utah. I don't know much about that game, so you would have to explain exactly how it works, but I'm imagining it's another RPG with elements where you collect as you go. Well, the Coliseum shinies, there were plenty of Coliseum shinies that were really long waits, especially for the right seed, but they're not part of this challenge. The Coliseum shinies are not included for the Olaf decks. Oh, jeez. I am not getting anything. Maybe my reward for this whole Zapdos thing being drawn out is that I catch it first try. That would be cool. But yeah, when I say Yeah, you know, like, so maybe you're right. Although I don't know, it's in terms of RNG weights. Um, I probably did wait over 45 minutes in Coliseum for specific seed value, GameCube seed to get a target. That is true. That's more passive. Because with that, you know, you can kind of go into the like battle mode in the main menu and let that run for, you know, hours at a time to get a seed. And then if you time it right and you exit, it's not precise necessarily. You can, excuse me, you can exit the battle and check what frame you're on from a certain seed. And then that's when you kind of dial in the RNG itself. So that does take longer than 45 minutes sometimes, yeah, for sure. But I was, I guess, more or less thinking of in terms of like, what's the longest wait between, you know, opening the game and catching the Pokemon? Because like with the GBA games, it's like it's one continuous thing. I'm going to be catching everything in the original Ruby Sapphire Emerald. I actually do need to play the ORAS games only for 2 Pokemon, 1 per game. If any of y'all can guess what those are, I'd be impressed. But it's not what you think. But it's just for 1 Pokemon per game for Omega Ruby and 1 Pokemon for Alpha Sapphire. It's the only reason I need to play them. Otherwise, it would just be X and Y for Gen 6. Come on, Red Feet. Nope. Probably a seed early, if I had to guess. Alright, I'm definitely losing some steam. I think a shiny Zapdos on my screen would give me some more life. A much needed life. So why don't we see that sometime soon, please? There we go. Okay. That's a relief. All right. We have Shiny Zapdos on screen. No guarantees. No guarantees, because as we've seen, if you watched my legendary captures in Fire Red, where we just caught the regular legendaries, it's probably a high likelihood that I will fail capturing the Zapdos the first try, especially when Venusaur won't even land a hit. Not that that's super important, as we have Magneton, but it sure would be nice for Venusaur to do something. Please, help me out here. All right, land one attack. Oh my god. Oh, this is brutal. Okay. Wow, okay. Good job, Venusaur. This is why we're not counting on you. All right, Magneton, you're up. Please help us out here. Zapdos is not playing around, but thankfully we paralyzed it before it paralyzed us, which is going to be a huge help. Now let's get it below half health. Are we speed tying it with it being paralyzed? Or maybe it got paralyzed trying to use Detect. That's probably why. Okay. We are in a good position now. So now it's just time to chuck balls, and fingers crossed we catch it in 200 balls. We probably won't be able to throw 200 balls because Zapdos will eventually run out of moves and you struggle. So that is a problem, but hopefully we don't have to get there. Hopefully we can just catch it soonish. That would be real nice. What? What? I guess there's our reward for the extra long wait. That is nuts. You all, that is nuts. That was only like 5 Pokeballs. People, I don't think you understand. That was so fast. And yeah, it's got some decent stats. It's timid with decent stats, as we knew it would be. That I don't even know what to say. Zapdos has treated us really well. The Zapdos in Fire Red, we caught that one the fastest out of all the legendaries. And this Zapdos was even better. 5-ish Pokeballs, basically. Like, hardly any attempts. I am floored. That is insane. Wow. I don't know what to say to that. Truly nuts. I was almost certain that we were going to have at least to do that more than once. Insane. Absolutely insane. You actually get to stay over here. Shiny Magneton, though, MVP. 100%. You did great. Exactly what we needed you to do. And I'll go ahead and just stick you here for now. What a run. What a run you just did. Wow. I honestly, I have no words. That was crazy that happened. Well, nothing left to do except perhaps get a Tangela? Oh yeah, I didn't even, I was so shocked that I actually did that I didn't update the counter. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. Chinese Zapdos. All good. And one with decent stats. They all the legendaries have decent stats. The spreads that I've selected for them. But yeah, Zapdos is probably the most relevant for Gen 3. Moltres is probably a close second, but wow. And then Mewtwo, of course, is also going to hit like a truck when we get that one, but we'll save that for probably towards the end anyway. Yeah, I can't believe that. That was great. That was really great. It took a little bit longer to RNG, but I mean, okay, so I had what, 202 balls? It took 3 balls. 3 balls! Do you know how insane that is? 3 balls caught Shiny Zapdos. Okay. So, let's try to collect myself here, and I think, you know, I was going to end relatively soon, but, you know, now that I'm all hyped up on Shiny Zapdos energy, let's get Tangela. Why not? Let's get Tangela and maybe even head all the way down to Cinnabar. I think that's a great use of our time. And so I breezed through that so quickly that I didn't even have this ready on this document, but let's go ahead and pull it up anyway. So, Zapdos is ours, Shiny Zapdos. And where is Tangela? There you are. All right. You are Stereo LNR. We're going to go back to Wild Encounters, so close this out. Back to Wild. And make sure that you are there. Perfect. Okay, and then what route is this even? Route 21. Okay. All right. Route 21. Only Tangela. So that's not the hardest thing to find around here. And we have one at 845 frames away, which with Sweet Scent is actually going to be pretty tight. Not like crazy or anything, but we'll breeze through this one. Excuse me. So, plug in this info into 10 lines. Route 21. Does it even matter me putting this information in? It's all Tangela. It is all Tangela. Seven 770. 241029. This is Stereo LNR, as I probably said many times already. This is the one here. All right. And before I do anything, I do need to make sure to put in the calibration back into here for outdoor wild encounters. So this is going to be the closest thing for that. Hopefully that steers us right. And make sure this is Stereo LNR. What a wild ride today has been. Craziness. So that's fast. That's a fast reset right there. Oh, my ears bother me. Whoa! Oh! Oh! What? What is happening? What is happening? Oh my god. Okay. I got 2 shinies in a row. 2 shinies. One of them was shiny Zapdos, which I caught in 3 balls. Then I went all the way down here for a wild shiny Tangela. Completely different method, completely different calibration. And I got him back to back. I mean, y'all, come on now. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on, but I'm happy about it. Whatever it is, I'm happy. But yeah, this is bananas. This is absolutely insane. Tangela can fret all it wants, but I can wait. I have time. And just like that, another shiny. That's probably the quickest. Well, no, I've gotten shinies first try before, but that is unreal. I can't believe that. Okay, well, that happened. Yeah, that was the thing. Tangela who? Never met her. I do need to find... It'll probably take me longer to find Tangela on this spreadsheet than it did to find the shiny. Hold on. There you are. Tangela. Alright. You guys, I don't know what to say about that. That's wild. 2 in a row. It's been a minute since I got 2 in a row, but that feels good after all that. After the issues with Zapdos, that feels extra good. So now I guess I'm just going to head on down to Cinnabar and probably call it a day. Hopefully I don't get in any trainer battles that I don't want to be in. Oh, guess I need to deal with you. All right, we have made it to Cinnabar Island. What a place to be. So I'll probably deposit Tangela, get set up in the Pokemon Mansion. That's where I'll conclude for the day. It's been a What a day it's been. I do think that in terms of efficiency, I hit the nail on the head. Outside of maybe Zapdos taking a little bit longer, I was able to breeze through these shinies. Let's see. I caught this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shinies today in the span of like 3 hours, which is pretty good. It still doesn't hold a candle to my 6 shinies in 2 hours, which is kind of like my record at present, but Zapdos, it was a little bit harder and had a longer wait, so you could maybe count that as 2 or even 3 shinies, theoretically. And also, I successfully RNG'd Electrode twice, so you can count that one as an extra one too. So I don't want to get lost in the weeds here, but I would say today was a good day. It was a very good day. Very happy about how things played out. And yeah, I think we'll knock out all the encounters in the Pokemon Mansion, which there aren't a ton, I believe. And then when we're done with that, we'll probably have to go beat Sabrina first, because we need to be able to use Magneton for Moltres. So I don't want to go to the Sevi Islands immediately after Blaine. So I want to be ready to catch Moltres while I'm there. I could wait till later, I guess, but might as well go ahead and do that. And yeah, I really appreciate everybody sticking around today. I know there were some issues with chat with the delay and all of that. I will try to get that sorted out before next time. Hopefully that'll be Tuesday evening at some point, but yeah, appreciate y'all, and have a great rest of your weekend.